Hey guys, how you going? Do you remember this computer from a few weeks ago?
You look in this one and you can see straight away the dust is actually quite severe, but there's caked on dust everywhere. It is just full on dust down there. Check that out. That is horrendous. Hey guys, it's Tim a few weeks later after doing this cleanup of this machine that had a lot of dust. Like, it was really bad. And the case itself is just poorly designed. It has really poor ventilation. Not as bad as other ones I've seen, but not that great. Customers brought it back and they listened to what I said, and they've gone ahead and bought a new case, and they've also they're going to replace their 3060 with a 5060 Ti, because I warned them that there's going to be price rises on the 5060 Ti, and they're going to be hard to get as well. And that's exactly what's going on. But she went ahead and bought it probably a week ago, and it's taken her a couple of weeks to bring it in again. So yeah, we're gonna now, after I got all that sorted out, I have to pull it all apart again and change it to a new case.
Well, that sucks.
So this is like a follow-up video of doing that, and then we can actually look at the scores on the benchmarks and just compare it directly as to the improvement. The 3060 up to a 5060 Ti. But yeah, we've all seen the case. And it's already, I'm not kidding you, it's already got huge amounts of dust on it, already forming on this vent here. So they're in a very dusty house. That's all I can say. It's a very dusty location, and this case is just not going to help a lot with that problem. So I'll get this out the way and I'll show you what she's bought. She just went and got her own stuff with a bit of help from a friend, and she sort of listened to what I told her as well, but she has chosen her own stuff.
A few moments later.
Okay, so we'll start with the case, and she's gone for an NZXT H3 Flow case. So haven't actually worked on one of these before, but right from the beginning I can see it's designed for airflow. This mesh design here that traps dust on the outside, so you'll be able to see it straight away, keep it clean. And the side just comes off. It's just held by clippy sort of things, so we get a good look inside. We've got mesh all down here for airflow, 120mm fan at the back. We have mesh up the top that's cleanable. Magnetic cleanable. And I'll just tilt it up, and it looks like it takes a 360mm radiator on the roof, and we have one USB 3 and then a Type C and power, so not many ports on the top of it. This front panel does come off. Yep. A 240 or 280 on the front. So yeah, if you want a 360, it's got to go on the roof. And it is a micro RTX case, but I'm just wondering whether she's thought about that. She did think of it. She does have a micro ATX board.
Don't you scare me like that.
So that's good. Just be aware, yeah, this is a micro ATX. You can't put an ATX board in it. Back panel has vents down the bottom to help with airflow. And we have a USB 3, Type C, and a front panel block. Thank you, yes. I really like it when they do that, as you know, so we don't have to say I hate you.
Thanks! Love you!
And then your power supply goes in here. It looks like you can screw in some SATA SSDs down the bottom here if you need to. And there seems to be some nice flanges for cable management. So all in all, looks to be an alright case. NZXT have had some issues in the past, mainly with their riser cables for graphics, causing shorts and fires. But their cases generally tend to be better quality. Just be aware of the vertical mount riser cable brackets and stuff when it comes to NZXT. Okay, so that's the case, and the graphics card she's decided to get is an Asus Prime GeForce RTX 5060 Ti. Looks like it's a long card with triple fans. So yeah, nothing over the top, but it's a Ti version, and the main thing is it's 16 gig. So 8 gig cards are going to struggle if you give them anything reasonably difficult to do. They're only 8 gig cards are only good for 1080p really. So as soon as you get up to 1440 resolutions, you really do need the 16 gig, and a lot of games just need more than 8 gig to really shine and work well. So yeah, did the right thing, and she's got a good card there before all the prices go nuts, which is already happening anyway. I just looked up my 5080 that I changed around Christmas time, and it's gone up $300 already. So yeah, I'm so happy I bought mine when I did. Alright, so that's what we're going to do. Swap out the bits from the old crappy case and put them into the new H3 Flow along with the new card, and then we'll retest everything. Alright, let's get into it. Alright, I got the motherboard out, graphics card, power supply. They have a 2 terabyte old hard drive in here, and the way they've wired it, they've used a right angle SATA connector, but they've installed it so you can't, I don't even know how they got it in there, I really don't, but I can't get it out because it just hits that frame there. I'm trying to figure out how to get this thing out. I can't just slide it out because it sort of hits this thing here. They must have bent the connector to try and, oh my gosh. Yep. So when they installed it, they must have bent on this connector on the hard drive here. It's not real good. This cable's trash. Alright, I got it out finally, so that means I can slide it. There you go. Seagate Barracuda. Don't see these very often anymore. Far out, that didn't want to come off. Alright. It's still extremely dusty, even though I gave this machine a real good clean out. Until you pull things completely apart, you can't really clean them properly. So this power supply is going to need further cleaning before I chuck it back in. This is just old case parts, but you can see all the dust on them. As for the case fans that are already in the machine, I may reuse them. Probably should. It's only got the one rear fan on the H3 flow, so probably should have at least a fan on the front to help draw in air. Oh, I'm going to go wash my hands, dust this out, wash my hands, and then we'll get the H3 flow up, and then we'll pop it in there and get it set up.
Alrighty then.
Okay, so H3 is on the bench and we're ready to fit the motherboard in. So let's get that done. Alright everyone, I haven't come across this before, but I just realised there is actually no ventilation on the bottom of this case. So they actually want you to fit it with the fan facing up. I don't know how I missed that, but yeah. So this is like the first time ever I have to mount the power supply with the fan upwards, because there's nothing to draw air in down the bottom, and they've actually made it that way. So I'm guessing they're heavily relying on this mesh down the bottom to help give the power supply fresh air. So yeah, that's quite unusual. Alright, we'll get it mounted. Alright, so because they have a mechanical hard drive, the only place it can go is down here on these raised pieces. So looking at the drive, we have 4 screw mounts. So I'm going to have to lie it on its side to line up the hole and then screw it in. Alright, and there you go. It's actually written on the bottom, HDD, HDD. SSD. Okay, it's making it look like it's supposed to face that way. The SATA connectors are going to be facing to the front of the case. Again, not very normal. Normally you'd like have it like that and then come off the side, but the way this is laid out, we have to mount it facing the front. So yeah, this H3 flow is a bit odd. But anyway, I'll just go with it because that's where it's going to go. The drive's in. You can see it just there, and yeah, facing towards the front. Very odd. It's not the way you usually do things like that. There's a lot of dog fur in here. still. So we'll just go with it and get it hooked up. So now we should be able to start doing cabling. I might just try and clean off these cables a little bit. They've still got a lot of dust on them. Do the cabling and then we should be able to drop the graphics card in next. Once we've got that done, and then we can do the first turn on again after changing over and see if it all works well. All right.
Much later.
Basic wiring done. So the graphics card's going to sit here. I think I better find a fan, I think, to blow. I just want it to blow sort of that lower end there to blow across the graphics card, and that'll help a little bit. So I'll dig out one of the fans from the case, the old case, and whack it there, and then we'll fit in the graphics card and turn this on. So remember, when you're fitting a normal case fan, where the frame is where the air is going to blow. So we want it to blow into the case from the front, so the frame will face into the case. So just looking at this case, I noticed that the frame or the fan mounting brackets are on these little flanges. Last time I had a case like that from Lee, because it wasn't a solid piece and they were sticking out like that, it actually caused a resonance in the case when the fan was going. So hoping that doesn't happen, because it's not as strong when it's like this, so it can allow vibration possibly. All right, so that fan should blow some air over the graphics card, which is what we want. So we'll fit the new graphics card in, and then we'll turn him on.
Alrighty then.
There we go. And we don't have to worry about 12-volt high power because this card doesn't need it. And then that's one less stress in this world. Nice. So we have the card in place, and that fan's perfectly in position to blow some air in there. So that's great. Awesome. We're definitely going to need an anti-sag because this card's long. I'm going to go have a look in the box, see if they give you one. Cable tie. Nope. So that's a for ASUS, giving out a long card with no anti-sag bracket whatsoever. That's kind of crap. So yeah, no anti-sag, so I'll have to see if I can find one for her. I think I might have one that'll work with this actually. Let me have a look here. I tend to collect anti-sag brackets because I just know this sort of problem happens. I wonder if this one will work. All right, that should stop it sagging. Yeah, so you don't want your card to sag because if it does, you can break solder joints on your PCB and then your graphics card stops working. Okay, we are ready to plug this in and turn it on and make sure it all works. And then we can, if it does, we'll tie it up again and then we will benchmark it. See you soon.
What took us so long?
All right, we are set up and we're ready to do the first turn on. So I'll flick on the power. Okay. 1, 2, 3. I'm so good. No explosion. Just kidding. It's all good. Anyway, it's all working, but I'm just waiting for a picture to come on the screen. And voila! I have a desktop appearing on my monitor. I really need to get a second camera so I can do it real time. It's on the list of many things. So yeah, she's all working beautiful, no explosion. So I'll point the camera at the screen and we can have a look. So yeah, it's picking up the 5060 Ti now. Excellent. Now I can't remember whether I did steal Nomad the first time around. I may not have, but we're going to do it this time because I'm really curious to see how the 5060 Ti performs when it's paired up with a bit of an older Ryzen. It's a Ryzen 3000 series. I can't remember the exact number. It'll come up eventually. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see what sort of scores we get. Alright, so I just looked it up and it got a 5144 on the last test with the exact same CPU, RAM and everything. All we've done is change the graphics card. So that is a hefty jump. That's so we've gained 3,694 points by changing the graphics card, and it was average 38 frames a second. And this one is averaging 66 frames a second. There you go. That's a major jump, and its max frames is 46, and now it's 84. So yeah, it's almost double the frame rate. It's getting close. An extra 3,000 points, and almost 84 frames a second max compared to 40 something. I'd be happy with that. So there we have it, all done. She's all finished. So that's going to be it for this video. I'll give the customer a call and they can come and pick it up and enjoy the extra frame rate. Alright, until next video, bye for now.